Welcome, neurodivergents and neurocurious. My name's Echo, and I have autism and schizoaffective disorder. Today, we're going to be taking a look at the pinnacle of internet absurdity, specifically Lauren Kennedy West, and her claims that keto magically cured her schizoaffective disorder.
My name is Lauren, and I live with schizoaffective disorder bipolar type, and I have been on antipsychotics as well as other types of psychiatric meds for over a decade.
That's good. Meds are great.
I managed to safely get off all of my psychiatric medications over the course of 10 months, and in this video, I am going to share more about my deprescribing journey, how I was able to do it safely, and what it looked like. My deprescribing journey, though, kind of began in December of 2023 when I decided to use ketogenic therapy, or the medical ketogenic diet, as well as other metabolic therapies, things like exercise, managing sleep, abstaining from drugs and alcohol, social engagement, all these different metabolic therapies in an effort to treat and manage my schizoaffective disorder in maybe a bit of a different way, or hopefully a better way than I had been for over a decade.
Seriously, the audacity to suggest that eating a high-fat, low-carb diet somehow rewires your complex neurological conditioning is an insult to anyone that actually struggles with these disorders. So right now, there are only a few studies on keto and the schizospectrum. These are extremely small and they're self-reporting. Some of the patients in those report a reduction in symptoms. Not a cure, not a remission, a reduction. And that's only for the time when they're actively on the keto diet. That's why even if you plan to take keto for your mental health, you do it as a supplement to your psych meds and not to replace them. What keto primarily helps with is offsetting the metabolic issues that come from your various psych meds. It isn't and was never meant to be a standalone treatment. And keto's dangerous. To properly manage keto, you need your entire team. You need doctors and dietitians to supervise you throughout the process. And even if it worked, it's not even slightly realistic for the vast majority of schizo patients. Keto's actually known to cause a whole lot of dangerous side effects. It absolutely destroys your gut flora. Your digestion is almost entirely done by bacteria that live in your gut. The bacteria need a big chunk of fiber to survive, which keto just completely ignores. And the lack of fruit and vegetables in the diet means that your body is missing out on key vitamins and nutrients that a varied diet would offer. Your body just isn't meant to run long-term on ketones. It's known to cause heart and fatty liver disease, which causes a complete metabolic collapse. It also gives extreme blood sugar dysregulation, and it drastically increases the amount of bad cholesterol in your blood. And don't get me started on the loss of bone density and just tempting kidney stones. There's no truly safe way to do keto. The human body just isn't designed for long-term ketosis. It's a method to tap into fat reserves for surviving long periods without food, but it causes extreme stress on the body. And so I'm going to be entirely real here. There are only 3 possibilities to explain Lauren's sudden cure of her schizoaffective disorder despite stopping all of her meds. Either she's lying for attention, she's entirely out of touch with reality, or she never had schizoaffective disorder in the first place. There isn't a single case where keto reduces symptoms like this, but we're expected to believe that Lauren is somehow this magic outlier? Either that or she's lying. And here's where it becomes genuinely dangerous. Peddling a miracle diet to people with severe psychiatric conditions is incredibly irresponsible. When influencers tell vulnerable people that a dietary change is all they need, they risk convincing someone to stop taking their life-saving prescribed medication. Suggesting that a person can just eat their way out of psychosis will lead to severe relapses, hospitalization, or worse. There will never be a day in our lifetime where anyone with schizospectrum disorders are cured. You can have symptoms go away, you can have symptoms go into remission, but it isn't a cure. They aren't gone. The symptoms are just temporarily minimized. They're still there, and there's always going to be breakthrough symptoms. And if you take a look at the comments, here you'll notice people are recklessly taking Lauren's non-medical advice. These people have stopped taking their psych meds. What Lauren's actually done is curated all of the comments and deleted anything that sounds even slightly negative, which is the hallmark of the grifter. Lauren, through intentional manipulation, is going to get someone killed. She knows this, she knows how dangerous it is, but she's choosing to because it gets her subscribers and views. And look at this, she even shamelessly plugs her affiliate links tying this to her income, because that's what this is all about. Lauren's someone that wants money and attention and is willing to risk other safety to get it. Lauren's a snake oil salesman with a bridge to sell us. Schizo disorders don't just vanish because you've stopped eating bread. They're a serious, complex neurological condition that's deeply wired to the structure of your brain. It's not a minor inconvenience that can be fixed with a glorified diet. Anyway, let's leave a comment. Wow, I'm sure my brain's dopamine pathways will finally normalize if I just eat enough bacon. Who knew all of these years of taking meds and consulting specialists could be bypassed by just skipping pasta? Thanks for the miracle cure. I'll be sure to tell my psychiatrist that keto's the new antipsychotic. No one with a schizospectrum disorder would ever be so delusional that they convince themselves to stop taking their meds. That'd never happen. Remember, keto isn't a realistic answer to your problems. It's a dangerous lifestyle that requires constant medical supervision. Don't even try keto unless your doctor suggests it to you. Now, it would be one thing if Lauren took this risk herself. It's another for her to spread fake information and lie about a full reduction in symptoms without meds. That is quite literally impossible. And so, Lauren, if you happen to see this, you're a dangerous turdmonger, and I hope someday you get what you deserve. Now, if you actually made it this far, like, comment, and subscribe. Yeah, I said it. Don't at me.